Hello and welcome to Finbizness. Today we are in conversation with Gokul Das from the Mosaic, which is a co-working space. Gokul, welcome on the show.
Thank you, Amol. Pleasure to be here.
So the first I would like to learn from you, or if you could give me a better perspective on why fintechs or startups actually riding on the co-working space rather than the traditional space.
Co-working has moved from being a real estate proposition to being a proper business solution.
Okay.
For a fintech player, capital deployment is very, very important.
Right.
And one of the first things that they see is you see an impact on your expenses by close to 25 to 30%.
Absolutely.
And these are funds that can be redeployed more effectively and towards your business and so on. They can just move in overnight. No need to worry about the electricity, the lease, and so on. It's all taken care of.
True.
The second aspect is the networking ability and the community.
Okay.
Global research has shown that in a co-working space, your productivity could go up by as much as 74%, and your happiness quotient, your motivation could rise by as much as 85%.
Oh wow!
So
That's interesting.
It's quite a significant enabler. And at Mosaic, we have tried to recreate all of the key elements of creating an experiential space which could create a massive paradigm shift in your lifestyle from a body, mind, soul perspective.
If you could give me a perspective on how globally the co-working space are making difference. Is it like an increasing trend where even not only the startups and fintechs, but also the traditional companies are also expanding or taking a cabin or some shop into the co-working space? How is the trend that you see globally?
By 2020, your co-working spaces are going to, outpace your vanilla real estate solutions.
Okay.
It is growing. Currently, China is the largest market for co-working. By 2022, India will be the largest player in this space. Globally, if you look at it, the rise of the gig worker, 1 in 3 Americans is a freelancer doing some sort of a freelance job.
Okay.
And they're earning close to $1 trillion.
Okay.
This figure is expected to go by 2027 to 1 in 2 people would be a freelancer. So it's a significant growth. Some of the other changes that are happening is that there's a lot of mergers and acquisitions that is happening in this space because there's significant opportunity for cross-pollination of learnings. In India, co-working and co-living is beginning to crop up quite significantly.
Okay.
And also, while our space at Mosaic, we are sector agnostic, but there is another trend which is developing of very specific, sector specific initiatives. So you could have a space where you have all the support tools for engineers or CAD drawings and 3D printers and so on.
So, but do you see the same trend will continue in India? You give an example, how it will be by 2022. But will it be only for startups, freelancers, or fintechs who are operating individually, or being an entrepreneur, something like that? Or do you think that even traditional companies, no matter whether they're working in finance or some manufacturing company, will also get into this bracket?
70%. The GLA report goes on to say that 70% of the space that's being taken up is currently by some of the larger companies.
Okay.
If you look at our space, we have some pedigree names and marquee names such as General Motors.
Okay.
20% is, as per the report, is SMEs, and then you have 10% who are the freelancers and the independent members. But yes, this trend is going to continue. I mean, if you look at India, you have close to 3 or 4 startups daily employing over $1 million, and this figure is again expected to mushroom quite significantly.
Right.
And that's a huge opportunity.
Okay.
Addressing your question in terms of traditional, if you were a traditional banking, everybody has an opportunity to be in a co-working space.
Right.
Now, what you need to look at is for a bank, if it's reallocating a sales team, it's overnight, it's immediate.
Okay.
If it is something more, a little bit more with processes involved, like for example, your back-end operation stream, you should look at it seriously, but you should also make sure that the proper Chinese walls are there in place from a secure line and so on. But there is significant efficiency and happiness and motivation, and it is clearly the way that is moving. If you look at the US, Price Waterhouse, PwC, has already started looking at co-working in a very, very big way.
Okay. That sounds really interesting.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. And there are companies like IBM, Verizon, Microsoft, who are all looking at co-working as the best possible solution.
So obviously, along with entrepreneurs, the traditional companies are also getting into this space. That's what you told me. But if you look at India or the demography of India, we have, if I'm not wrong, more than 5,000 startups, more than 1,500 fintechs working, and most of them are using co-working space.
Sure.
What is the most lucrative factor that the co-working space is offering them?
Let me take a step back on why we created Mosaic. Most of the partners at Mosaic, not most, all of the partners at Mosaic have worked abroad. And we work for large multinational firms abroad. And there were certain firms where, times where we really look forward to going to work.
Right.
And there were other times, we would not.
Right.
So it was a question of how do we replicate this experience? So Mosaic is very different from all the other spaces because Mosaic is India's only premium wellness-oriented co-working space. Ours is a lifestyle-based exposure. It's experiential. It is something that we hope to touch your body, mind, and soul.
Okay.
So a testament of the fact that we are very different is that we've opened in late 2017 and we are already at 100% occupancy.
Do you believe that, because of India's youngest population in the world, we have the large number of millennials, will add more value to the co-working space because everybody wants to be an entrepreneur, everybody wants to be a startup?
Absolutely. It's a very exciting time. I keep saying this. I don't know, when we look at the younger generation, we have probably gone in the last 10 years where the world has gone in the last 100, and the last 1 year we've gone where we've gone in the last 10 years. So it is growing at an incredibly fast pace. So for us at Mosaic also, the only constant will be change.
Great. All right. Thank you so much for sharing those insights, Gokul. It was nice.
Pleasure.
talking to you. Thank you.
Pleasure.